Right now at 6, parents outraged after a teacher accused of grooming students is shuffled from one campus to another.
Where is he going? Are you going to place him in another school?
Why the district says the teacher hasn't been fired.
Plus, the horrors of the Hamas attack on Israel felt around the world.
Everyone knows someone who has been abducted or killed.
How the local Jewish community is responding. And
she's my dog, she's my family.
Meet the volunteers working to make sure all pets get the care they need.
Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Laurel Porter. We begin at 6 o'clock with a local music teacher on paid administrative leave for the third time. New allegations of misconduct surfaced just 3 days after a lawsuit was filed by former students. These new claims involve inappropriate conduct with yet another high school student.
Alma McCarty's been following the story out of the Salem-Keizer district and joins us now with the update. Alma.
Well, David, Laurel, you'll remember that lawsuit filed on September 27th alleges that between 2015 and 2020, then McNary High School choir teacher Joshua Rist formed, quote, inappropriate relationships with 2 of his students, and that the district didn't do enough to protect them. Tonight, the superintendent gave us a timeline of events, reports, and action about Rist and revealed he's now back on leave after a third person came forward alleging misconduct.
I want to share important information today about a former McNary in Calapooya teacher, Mr. Joshua Rist.
In a video statement, Salem-Keizer Schools Superintendent Andrea Castaneda addressed families and students.
And based on what I know today, I do not believe Mr. Rist should be allowed to serve students in the Salem-Keizer School District or anywhere else. I have already removed him from Calapooya, and to the degree that it is under my legal control, I will not reinstate him in a student-facing role.
The superintendent told reporters several events regarding Rist led to this statement at this time. The latest, a third former McNary High School student coming forward with claims of misconduct. These allegations are similar to and followed those from 2 former McNary High students who filed a sexual abuse and negligence lawsuit against their former choir teacher and the district last month. They're claiming Rist formed inappropriate relationships with them and groomed them while they were students from 2015 to 2020. These allegations, first brought to light in 2021, were investigated by 4 institutions, according to Castaneda: the district, Keizer Police, the Department of Human Services, and the Teacher Standards and Practices Commission. Rist was placed on leave twice, and no organization charged him with a crime, nor applied significant sanctions based on misconduct. Rist ended up at Calapooya Elementary in Salem, teaching music. Parents like Kenzie McMillan were disturbed to learn of the lawsuit against him.
As a parent who's had sexual assault happen in my past, it's like they don't stop doing it. Groomers don't stop grooming. They don't just grow out of it. They don't get over it. The feeling intensifies.
Now Rist is out of the classroom again on administrative leave as the district investigates the latest allegation.
And Alma, some of these details raise a question I'm sure parents like Kenzie there are asking. Why is Rist still with the district?
Well, David, the superintendent told us they can't fire him due to a legal loophole. That's what she called it. She said Rist attempted to advance these relationships after they were no longer considered students in the eyes of the law. She also believes that's why the investigations never ended in criminal charges or sanctions. Surely not the last we will hear about this developing story. David?
Yeah, thank you, Alma. Appreciate that update. Also in the Salem-Keizer district, by the way, a 13-year-old boy is in custody after police say he threatened to shoot up Claggett Creek Middle School. Police say they were contacted by a parent whose daughter saw an anonymous social media post on Saturday that gave a specific date and time for an attack. Detectives say they worked with the FBI to trace that post to a teen in Salem. They arrested him Monday evening. He's now facing disorderly conduct charges.
Also in your headlines this evening, a man accused of firing a gun while being chased by law enforcement early this morning in Washington County is behind bars tonight. The sheriff's office says the chase started when a deputy tried to pull a car over near Forest Grove. They say the driver, 27-year-old Zachary Phillips, took off, leading deputies to Gaston, where he got out and ran. He's also accused of trying to carjack someone while deputies were looking for him, prompting a shelter-in-place alert for the area. Phillips was found and arrested about 7:30.
Nearly a year and a half after a man was shot and killed by Portland police, his family is planning to sue the city. Emmanuel Jaquez Clark Johnson, who went by Manny, was shot and killed when he was wrongly identified as an armed robbery suspect last November. The officer who fired said Manny was reaching into his pocket and he feared Manny had a gun. The grand jury report said Manny was in fact not armed, but the jury still found officers justified in that shooting. The family, who we're hearing from for the first time today, argues the Bureau needs to be held accountable.
I'll just say be safe in these streets, but I never knew that this would happen to him in this type of manner.
A lawyer for the city had no comment on the lawsuit.
And teachers in Oregon's largest school district will be voting next week on whether to authorize a strike. That's after contract talks between the union and Portland Public Schools broke down last month, with educators asking for pay increases and smaller class sizes. If members do authorize a strike, there will need to be a 10-day notice before teachers can walk out. That means the very earliest a strike could begin would be October 29th. Matt?
Thank you very much, Laurel. Boy, it's been a blustery day, but look, we're getting some sun breaks out in Washington County right now. The sun breaking through. The strong showers have been pouring across the area, so we'll still have those too, but at least we're getting a glimpse of the sun. There were a couple of thunderstorms up in northern Clark County about an hour and a half ago. Those have moved on and ended, and I'm not seeing any new lightning strikes on the map yet. So the chance of a thunderstorm this evening is pretty low, but we have another chance tomorrow as we're not done with this blustery weather. In fact, tomorrow, I think the driest part of the day will be in the morning. Midday about 57, and from noon on we've got a chance for a thunderstorm, and there will certainly be some strong showers moving on through during the day. So the headlines look like this: strong showers and possibly a thunderstorm right on through tomorrow afternoon about this time. Then things will begin to dry out, and we have dry, warmer weather for Thursday and Friday. Should be a really fantastic end to the week. Still looking mainly cloudy on Saturday for the eclipse. We will elaborate in a bit. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Matt. See you in a few. Let's get to the latest now on the deadly attacks inside Israel by Hamas. The death toll in Israel and Gaza continues to rise, with just under 2,000, including more than 1,000 Israelis killed after 4 days of fighting. President Biden confirming that 14 U.S. citizens are among the dead, and some 20 more are unaccounted for. Israeli Defense Forces saying the military has now fully secured the border with Gaza and is now preparing for a major offensive. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Antony Blinken heading to Israel tomorrow in a show of support.
And tonight we're also hearing from Portlanders with families in Israel caught in the middle of the violence. Daisy Caballero joins us in the studio now. Daisy, what are these families telling you?
Yeah, David, Laurel, I mean, these Portland families are terrified. They haven't been able to get in contact with loved ones to assure that they're safe. So now they're praying that they're still alive.
I'm still searching for and have not heard back yet from family who's in Tel Aviv, who are in outside Jerusalem.
Pastor Matt Hennessy of the Vancouver First Baptist Church in North Portland is reeling from the violence in a place he has called home. Having traveled back and forth to Israel from the 1980s to 2016. He was once a student there and shared he was adopted by an Israeli family.
2 sisters are still alive, and their offspring are still alive as well.
Pastor Hennessy is hurt and disgusted by what has played out in the Israel-Hamas war.
I believe that this situation is worse than any situation that's ever hit Israel, and even though I know that rockets are going off, I saw that this morning, as many people did. The fact of the matter is everybody's worried about what could happen next.
I think the easiest way to describe this is atrocities.
Elias Stahl is an Israeli American who lived in Israel from 2012 to 2015 before moving to Portland. And now he's praying for the safety of his family in Israel.
Cousins, aunts, uncles, close friends.
Many who are getting called to fight in the war.
This will be different from any. This is the largest attack on civilians that Israel has ever experienced. It is like 9/11 times 10.
Elias has served in the Israel military during his time there, but understands the gravity of the differences in this situation.
What we are witnessing is an army that is not there to take land. They're not there to build a state. They are there to extinguish the Jewish people.
My heart hurts, both for the macro and obviously for people that mean a lot to me as well.
And we have learned that a former student of Portland Jewish Academy was killed in the attack in Israel. Shani LaCour went to kindergarten at the school. The Portland Jewish Academy sent KGW a statement today about her death, and it reads in part, quote, "Our school was devastated to learn of Shani's tragic loss. Our thoughts and prayers are with Shani's family and with all of the friends and families of the victims of violence." David Laurel.
I think all of our hearts are hurting about this. Thank you, Daisy.
Certainly are.
Coming up on The Story, a brand new report details just how successful Portland's safe rest villages have been in housing homeless people and then moving them into more permanent alternatives.
Blair Best joins us near one of those villages in North Portland with a preview. Blair.
David, Laura, while the findings in this report may seem promising to some, those who live near some of these villages tell us they're suffering, like those in this neighborhood near the Peninsula Crossing Safe Rest Village. Just take a look behind me. Some of the homes here are just feet away from the village itself, which is right behind that wooden fence. And these neighbors tell us they're now dealing with loud noises that keep them up at night, among other issues. The city's report shows us that in the past year, 345 homeless people moved off the streets and into a village. 143 of them left, and of those, 70 went into temporary or permanent housing. There are currently 7 villages located across the city. Meanwhile, neighbors say more needs to be done to help them.
There's been a lot of drugs going through here. A lot of people walking here at night, making noises.
Like, I'm happy that people have a place to rest safe, but at the same time, it would be nice if it wasn't in my backyard.
Now, we reached out to the Safe Rest Village team today. They declined to comment on this new report as they're presenting it tomorrow at City Council. But they did talk to us about the neighbors' concerns. They said work is ongoing when it comes to engaging with nearby residents and building respect with both the housed and unhoused here. I also want to point out that we're told at least one family in this neighborhood sold their home and moved because of this village, and that others are talking of doing the same. You can catch my full report tonight at 6:30 in The Story. David, Laura.
Blair Best in North Portland there. Thanks so much, Blair.